The Phantom of the Underground. A FableFrames original short story. Every evening, like clockwork, I found myself immersed in the bustling yet uncanny stillness of the New York City subway system. A graveyard shift waitress at the Empire Diner, sandwiched between the towering giants of downtown Manhattan, my life was a nocturnal blur of coffee refills and tired goodbyes, punctuated by the discordant harmony of the subway's midnight symphony. One damp, foggy night, after a particularly long shift, I found myself on a near-empty subway car, its decades-old metallic body swaying rhythmically over the hidden veins of the city. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting sterile, cold light onto the grimy floor. My bleary eyes were drawn to one light in particular, its erratic flickering like a nervous heartbeat against the subway's monotonous hum. I've always found flickering lights to be an eerie oddity. An irrational fear of the dark, perhaps, or a primal dread of uncertainty. The brief intervals of darkness seemed like a malevolent game of hide-and-seek, a dance with the unseen. As I sat beneath the stroboscopic light, I noticed something strange in the window's reflection. In the momentary darkness when the light blinked out, a dark figure appeared, sitting directly across from me in the car. When the light pulsed back on, it was gone. In the sterile light of the subway car, only a homeless man, wrapped in tattered layers, sat in one corner, and a tired nurse in her periwinkle scrubs was visible. The seat directly across from me was ominously vacant. My heart pounded in my chest, a rat-tat-tat against the silence. I chalked it up to exhaustion, the dark circles under my eyes proof of my mind's deceit. As I stepped off at my desolate station, a sense of unease snaked up my spine. The underground's dim, haphazard lighting flickered, casting grotesque, elongated shadows that danced on the cracked tiles. There it was again, at the foot of the weathered staircase, the same shadowy figure from the train, just standing, waiting. It vanished again as the lights flickered back to their feeble glow. I told myself it was the shadows, the echoes of the empty station, or perhaps, my imagination embroidering fear into the mundane. Upon reaching my apartment, I found it empty, save for the lingering scent of Hannah's expensive perfume. My roommate, a nightclub singer, was out on one of her nocturnal gigs. I was alone, the disquieting memories of the subway station returning like a haunting refrain. With a shaking hand, I turned the shower on, the hot water a temporary relief from my cold dread. I tumbled into bed, my body aching for rest, but my mind alive with unspoken fears. Just as the world began to blur, my bedside lamp flickered. The blood froze in my veins. The familiar, yet terrifying dance of light and darkness had made its way into my sanctum. The phantom figure materialized in the corner of my room, appearing and disappearing with every flicker of the light, like a spectral puppeteer controlling my fear. Paralyzed by a fear I couldn't voice, I watched as the phantom inched closer with every flicker. Each brief plunge into darkness brought it nearer, its form solidifying into a foreboding silhouette. It eventually stood right beside my bed, an ominous shadow blotting out my reality. Suddenly, the flicker ceased, leaving the room in a state of silent, dreadful darkness. I lay there, my heart pounding a desperate tattoo, the taste of fear like cold iron in my mouth. And then, the room was filled with the golden warmth of the hallway light. Hannah had returned. When I dared to turn my head, the room was as it always had been, starkly normal. In the harsh light of the following morning, I tried to dismiss my night of horror as a dream. But a pervasive dread clung to me, an inky stain on my reality. And there, in the corner of my room, lay a piece of obsidian fabric, an alien object that echoed the spectral figure's inky form. Haunted by the chilling encounter, I began to avoid the subway, preferring the cacophony of city buses or the solitude of long walks, regardless of the time it took. Flickering lights still sent chills down my spine, but the figure remained a terror of the past. Every night, though, I found myself wondering, as sleep threatened to claim me, if I'd wake up to find the shadowy phantom standing over me again.